Got new details emerging in Trump's impeachment inquiry. The whistleblower, New York Times reporting, was a CIA officer who worked at the White House. Very fast-moving situation. Let's go to Jessica Smith, who is live in Washington, D.C. for the very latest on everything Trump-related. Jess.
Yeah, this New York Times article has new details about the whistleblower. As you mentioned, the New York Times reports that the whistleblower was a CIA officer who worked in the White House, but has since gone back to the CIA. The Times reports that the officer was likely an analyst by training and had detailed knowledge of American foreign policy and how it relates toward Europe. When the acting DNI testified today, he said that he did not know who the whistleblower was, but he said that he believed that the whistleblower did act in good faith, and he said that at some point he would allow the whistleblower to testify before Congress, though that would be behind closed doors. The president has been blasting the whistleblower, slamming that person for coming out with secondhand information. And the LA Times has a recording of the president at a closed-door event today, and he was attacking the aides who helped the whistleblower, who talked to the whistleblower, saying they're close to a spy. And I want to read you this exact quote from the LA Times. They say the president said, "You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart, right? The spies and treason, we used to handle it a little differently than we do now." Congressman Schiff has come out with a response to that quote. On Twitter, he said that this is a reprehensible invitation to violence against witnesses in our investigation. So a lot of new details coming out quickly. And we do know that acting DNI was supposed to testify before the Senate Intel Committee in private this afternoon. So we'll see if lawmakers on the Senate side have any more to say once that wraps up. Miles.
Hey, Jess, Rick Newman. Is there any indication of cracks among Republicans on Capitol Hill? I mean, are they basically saying, yeah, we agree with Trump, we should probably shoot CIA analysts and put them in prison or whatever Trump was suggesting there? Or are they starting to say publicly that they're uncomfortable with this?
You know, in the hearing today, when they were questioning the acting DNI, most of them were sticking up for President Trump. They were really using the same lines that we've heard from the president, being a Russia hoax or blaming the media for this. We did hear from Congressman Mike Turner, who said that the call was inappropriate, but then he went on to say that the complaint wasn't exactly what we thought it was. He said the call was inappropriate, but then he kind of backtracked a little bit there. I think that was the closest we've seen to a crack. We know Senator Ron Johnson, who says he has no problem with this call. He actually told reporters today that he was uncomfortable with the cover-up, that was troubling when the complaint alleges that aides tried to lock down details of the call. So maybe starting to see a few more Republicans say that they're uncomfortable with some of this, but I'd say the vast majority are really still sticking with the president.
Just this whistleblower complaint, which became public for the first time today, it talks about several people in the White House who supposedly spoke to this whistleblower, and it says that those people at the White House who do have firsthand knowledge of what went on with regard to the call and the transcript and where it was archived and so forth, that they were very uncomfortable with what was happening. I think the word is disturbed. The obvious question for the Intelligence Committee or other committees in Congress, are they trying to identify those White House aides and potentially call them to Capitol Hill as to testify?
Well, we know Chairman Schiff said that there would be additional witnesses that they wanted to talk to. He wouldn't get into specifics about who those people were, but he did say that the committee plans to call more witnesses, look at more documents. He says the whistleblower laid out a roadmap for the investigators. So I do expect they'll probably try to figure out who those people were that were involved in the call. The complaint says that about a dozen people were witness to that call between the president and the president of Ukraine. So we'll see if they try to find out who any of those witnesses are and bring them in. We don't know that just yet, but they say, again, the whistleblower laid out a roadmap for investigators.
All right, Jessica Smith with the latest from Washington, D.C.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.